venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.
Sicker than your average. Pop a twist cabbage on instinct. Niggas don't think shit, stink pink gators. My Detroit players.
Yes, freedom and democracy. We got rid of a brutal communist dictator, and now we're gonna have freedom and democracy, right? Because, you know, we're gonna have elections and Nobel Prize winning opposition's gonna come back. One second, let's just see who gave the speech today.
Y ha elevado sus voces de apoyo a Venezuela. Desde China, Rusia, América Latina, el Caribe, África, Asia, los gobiernos del mundo están sencillamente impactados de que sea la República Bolivariana de Venezuela víctima y objeto de un ataque de esta naturaleza que tiene sin duda alguna tinte sionista. Es realmente vergonzoso.
Oh, that's Maduro's appointed vice president, who's now taken over, who Trump has admitted she's in charge and he will work with her, and there is no consideration of any elections in Venezuela. And the Nobel Prize winning opposition who won the 2024 election will stay wherever she is, and the other opposition guy, I forgot his name, will stay in Spain for wherever he is. Nothing is going to change, and the only thing that will change is that the US will own Venezuela's oil, which is the world's largest oil reserves in the world. Did you get that? Did you get that, Mr. Freedom and Love and Democracy? This isn't freedom, love and democracy. This is a land grab. This is an asset grab. This is piracy. Basically, same as him taking those tankers. He's now taken the whole flipping oil fields. It's insane. All right, we have reached, the whole world going nuts over Putin going into Ukraine. How could you? It was part of freaking Russia for 80 years, Ukraine. It's literally, it's part of its own country. Venezuela has nothing to do with the US, and it is essentially taken over because it's basically said, you can rule, your government can stay in power, you can keep killing your own citizens, you can keep keeping them impoverished, but we want to own all your oil reserves, the world's largest oil reserves. And it gets more ridiculous. We also have the fact that, why did they do this? What is the real reason they did this? It's not just to get the oil reserves. Those oil reserves are heavy crude. The US produces light sweet crude, which is like petrol. But for jet fuel, marine fuel, heavy lubricants, you only can use heavy crude, which is what Venezuela has. And so that's something that the US didn't have. And the most important reason they did this was the petrodollar. So it has been 50 years since Saudi Arabia signed the petrodollar agreement in 1973. And they agreed that they would price all Saudi Arabian oil sales in dollars, essentially giving a guaranteed buy for dollar. The whole world needs to buy oil. The only way you can buy oil is with dollars, and so therefore you have to buy dollars. Saudi Arabia said, we're done. And so for the last few years, they've already been accepting yuan, Chinese yuan, or a mixture of currencies to buy Saudi oil, right? So that's the first thing. And if that got more prevalent, that stops the US from simply printing money and exporting inflation. That's what the US does. It prints tons of money and then it sends it out. And everyone inflates. That's why everyone had inflation in 2021, the whole world, 2021, 2022. That's why we're still going through inflation. Nothing to do, whatever your country could be the most fiscally conservative government in the world, didn't spend any money on stimmy checks like America, and didn't spend money on PPP like America, and just wasted trillions of dollars on that stupid scamdemic like Sweden. But still, inflation went through the roof in Sweden. Now why? They didn't do lockdowns. They didn't force masks. So why the heck would inflation go up there? Well, the reason is because America inflated the global monetary supply of dollars, and they send it out to the rest of the world, right? So there's only 10 bicycles, and they were $10, each bicycle being $1, and they make $20 in supply, guess how much each bicycle becomes? $2. It has to. That is a natural consequence. There's only 10 bikes. That's all there are. But there's $20. So it has to be $2 a bike. You want to make it $100 in supply? Well, each bike then will be $10. That's just the way it goes. If there's a finite goods, but unlimited currency, it's not even money, right? Currency units, then the goods get repriced to the currency units that there are. That's the way it goes. So that's what he needs to do. He needs this petrodollar to be firmly ingrained. And now let's see how the attack went and what happened.
Mamá huevo, qué locura. Moscaí. Mira esa mierda, explotaron allá toda esa mierda fuerte, tú me estás explotando.
Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, ¿oyó?
Huevo.
So 40 Venezuelans minimum were killed during that operation, simply for the US to invade a sovereign country, take over its resources, and leave the same brutal dictatorship in power. This is way worse than Putin. This is way worse than Putin. And it is way worse than China. As someone said, this is the worst. America is the worst. What they do is they go into a country, they will make sure the top 5% are sorted. They get all the money, they get whatever they want to rip off and be corrupt, that's fine. And then the 95%, they bury them. That's how they've done it in Africa, in South America, everywhere they've gone into. That's how they do it. The top 5% get rich, everyone else is poverty and destroyed. China, on the other hand, does not work like that. China goes in, they build roads, they build bridges, they build railway, they built the biggest port in South America, in Ecuador, that provides jobs. They buy companies. They buy companies, and what they do is they don't asset strip them like the Americans do. Asset strip them, ship off all the IP to America, close down factories, close them. No. They keep it going. They keep those companies going. They keep them home-based, domestically. They have no problem. So Chinese is very different. Chinese wants to boost that 95%, make sure everyone else is happy, the country benefits, and they benefit, which is quite a fair way. It's kind of British Empire kind of way of doing things. So the British Empire also built the roads and built the railway lines and built the cities. I forget what everyone says. It's a load of rubbish. You go, these buildings are still there after like 80 years, right? The post boxes are still there after 80 years. Please do me a favor, right? These things are still there. America does nothing. It has gone into every single country in the world and just simply asset stripped, made sure the top 5% are sorted, well off, all bribed nicely, and buries everyone else. That's how they work. So this is what they're going to do in Venezuela, asset strip them of their entire world's largest oil reserves. Make sure it's priced in dollars. That's the main thing they need to do. Make sure it's priced in dollars, and that will give them the hegemony, because Saudi Arabia told them, sorry mate, we're out. The other big factor that happened, and this is very important, and how can we see now that he's literally lost it, Trump? How can we really see it? Let's see what he said about Greenland.
He felt very strongly we need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the charge, so we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy to Greenland.
That's right. You thought he was joking about Greenland. You thought it was a funny gimmick. But he's actually said it today. He is seriously considering Greenland today. This is that clip was from a year ago. But today he said the same thing, right? He's going for Greenland. He is going for the Panama Canal. He already actually agreed a deal in Panama Canal, so that's already done, right? And Canada, he's hoping, I don't know what he's hoping to do with Canada, but he wants to do something. This is a tyrant, an imperialist. This is someone who I supported. Look at my videos. You can go and see the video. You can see how happy I was when he won. But he has become a tyrant, and this is imperialistic, and no one should be allowing, and this is really a sign of weakness from America, to attack a sovereign nation, take it over, asset strip it, and leave the evil regime in power. This is just, it's when you've got, you know, it's the last roll of the dice of a dying empire. That is essentially what happened. They had to take that oil over and make sure it's priced in dollars because everything is falling for them. As I've gone and told you about the silver showing that, you know, the resources, the global resources are going to China. Rare earths, as we know, is already controlled by China, and that's why Trump couldn't bargain, you know, couldn't bury them in any tariff deal and just had to accept whatever China gave them. Even gave them the NVIDIA chips. In the end, China said, we don't even want them. We don't care about your stupid chips and your fake AI boom. We don't care. We're well ahead, and we don't care about AI either because it's a stupidity. So they are, you know, they're doing very, very well by themselves. They have a 1.2 trillion record, not budget surplus, what's it called? Trade surplus, 1.2 trillion trade surplus. They're reinvesting that into gold and silver. They're not touching any US assets. That makes gold and silver go up. They were actually in Venezuela at the time to make sure that they signed onto the new SWIFT system, the BRIC SWIFT system, which was based on gold and a basket of BRICS currencies. That was the plan, and they were about to go live, and they are about to go live on this BRIC SWIFT system. Once that happens, oh my God, the US is done. Oh my God, the US is done. That means any countries can transact without any auspices or sanction from the US. Free-flowing money, trade, goods, everything can flow in that system, and no one needs the US anymore. Those pipelines, the financial pipelines, have already been laid by China, and the connections have been made, the deals are done, and it's ready to start up. And once it starts up, that's it. Well, the West is basically done because it is just a debt-based, disgraceful empire. So yes, as we've seen, this is imperialism. That's all it is. It's a low, low, low for the US. Very sad this has happened to this. I cannot believe it's happened to this. To overthrow a sovereign nation using military means and then stealing their resources. Again, if you would have done it, freedom, democracy, put in new elections, allowed what happened, let them keep their resources. No. We're stealing them. We're going to keep the same people in power, and there's no elections. That's what he said. Crazy.